everyone. So sorry I did not get on earlier. It's been a busy day. Between trying to figure out why I was in pain and everything else, and we got it figured out, so I'm good to go now, hopefully. But plus kids and everything else, and it took me a while to wake up this morning. It was one of those days. So anyway, I'm with my husband. He's driving, not me this time, so I'm playing two phones, but I am the one doing everything. So okay, it ends in 18 hours. I'm not worried about that. I just had to see what it was saying, because it was like, excuse me? I thought the other one doesn't start for a little while, and it doesn't. It just was telling me...
It's like 7 days away.
Yeah, the others... Yeah, that's what I was saying. It was just being weird. So... Go figure. So I guess my husband's maxed out on things, and so I don't know what his plan is.
Fortress.
Oh, well, I think we better get some more energy before we head for a fortress.
You?
I have 6 spell points, 6 energy right now.
Well, catch something for me then.
I've been working on catching. Yeah, I don't think I'd do too well in a fortress right now. I've already caught you a thestral. I heard you say use energy. And I'm not trying to be mean, I was close to leveling up last night, so I went after everything there was. Okay, you're going to have to go slower there. Do you need the ministry official in the bubble?
Yes. Right timing.
Your harp took forever. But I got you one more harp piece, so you only need one now. Maybe they forgot it's not a stop. Do you need the daily profit stand?
No.
Blast ended screw?
Yes.
got your last one of those, so I'm
I
placing
knew
the
that.
image.
So I said yes.
I know, I'm just letting you know I'm
Yes,
placing
place
the image. So you know. Make more sense now? Niffler?
Yes. Depends if it's the baby or the
No, it's
adult.
the adult.
No, it's the baby. I have the baby one. You can go after it anywhere. The adult's black.
Okay, you were right, it's the baby. Do you need the...
No.
Mad-Eye Moody's eye?
No.
The ministry official in ice.
Yes.
There, good. Nope. There, yeah. Three, 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 three. I'm sorry, you guys, about that. It drives me crazy when my phone does that. And other people's. It shakes all over the place. Back and forth and left and right and... And we're back in London, so I'm not going to bother to put that in right now. It makes it very frustrating when every time you open it up, you're back in London. And another 3.
Yeah.
Well, mine was a 3.
No, I'm maxed out again.
Well, I'm sorry. You keep grabbing your phone from me.
No.
So the reason we keep stopping is we get near an end and he grabs the phone as I'm going after stuff. You need the prophecy.
Yes.
Three. I know you don't need the Kniesel, right? I know I should check what's in that greenhouse. I'll do it later if I'm still out and about. Finally, a higher one. $34 now. Do you need the baby hippogriff?
No.
I did not say click on the in, I said move. Okay, it's up to you. I'm at 40.
I think it's enough. We can go do this.
So I said it's up to you.
Doesn't go to the planet wall and come back.
Okay. So that message was on my husband's phone, and the person asking the question, if they're watching, they'll know who it is. I don't think they are, but they can wait for an answer until we're done live stream. So does anyone have, if you have any questions and I haven't answered them during the live stream, go ahead and leave them down in the description or down in the comments if it's after, or just leave them. Let's see what that was. I guess, it doesn't want to show. Oh, here, let's see. Okay, it's gonna be mean. Yeah, sorry. Let me call. I'm not getting the ends right now. want to stop this. Ah, there we go. I didn't want to stop the stream, and yet I was accidentally doing that. So thank you for joining me. Do you have any questions? Jaguar is the one who has just joined us. I hope they're having a good day. And I can't tell if they are if they're listening and just watching earlier in the stream or watching right now. That's sad, Jaguar. They can't go out and play right now because it's raining cats and dogs.
That sucks. Tell them to send it our way.
So, my husband says that sucks. Send it our way. We could really use it. It's actually right now our dry season. And it is way hot for us. I mean, I know it's a lot hotter elsewhere, but it's hot and yeah. We could use a little bit of water right now. We have some plants that we're growing on our door in containers on our porch, and we're having to water them once to twice a day to keep them alive. Even it's that hot here, they're getting that dehydrated. So we're getting ready we were getting me some energy because we wish you could too. We are getting me going around grabbing some energy. Because I was completely out. I got to level 23 last night. I was just short when we headed home, and we have a whole bunch near our house of the confoundables, and so I just went after confoundable after confoundable after confoundable, hit 23 and ran out of energy, so we had to go get some, and we are headed now to a fortress battle. With the two of us, we can only do up through level 5. What would you like us to see?
Level 1.
Not just the two of us.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, we've done it before, but not just the two of us, I don't believe. We've done it with other people. That's what I'm saying, Brett. So, Jaguar, what one would you like us? Let's see. What fortress level would you like us to go after? Hurry and grab this energy here, and then because we can go my husband and I, we could go after any fortress from level 1 to 5. What would you like to see? I wouldn't recommend one. It's really hard to get two people in at one. Whatever you like, he said. What do you want to go after, honey?
5.
Okay, it looks like we're gonna hit 5. Now what we do, my husband's a little bit slower on the uptake, meaning And I don't mean that mean, but it takes him a bit more time to react. So I let him go in first, and then I jump in. As you can see, he's in, and then I can hurry in, jump in, and we can still have time. When we first started playing, we would go in, everyone else in the family would get in, and he'd be in his own one. Cool, I'm glad. Yeah, so you'll get to see it. If you choose, you can actually watch a few of my other videos on my YouTube channel. And we've gone after level 5 a number of times on this channel when we're doing it. So, I forgot to drop my brain elixir. Oh well. I will be using a potion though, because I got to get rid of potions. Not because I need it against this pixie, but just need to use the potion. So I am a magizoologist. My husband's an auror. So when we go in, I take the animals and he takes the people. And we found that that works best for us because I take a lot longer against the people and he takes a lot longer against the animals. In this case, it doesn't look like he has a choice. He's going to have to go after an animal, but I'm going to take this pixie because I also need it for one of the other things. So you can see how much I could hit that pixie even without a potion. So, and I would go type an answer to you for the interaction, but yeah. So I hope your day gets better, not that you're stuck inside all day. And thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it. And another question, is there a time you'd like to see that if I streamed every day, or I try to stream 6 days a week, so is there a time that you'd like to have me stream at? Or is it just hit and miss like it is with me when I'm watching? Okay, so my husband's after that one. I'm actually gonna drop this just because it won't be necessary because he's already got this guy beat, but it'll help him beat it even faster. That works. Well, if you're ever on and you notice I'm playing Wizards Unite, just contact me and say, hey, would you go on and stream? And I probably, especially if I'm playing, I definitely will. So, oh cool, I've got Tower Chamber 1 now to where it's not in red anymore. I like that. It means I'll have to go after that one some more times, but at least I got that there. And we put in a level 1 when we're going against the harder levels just because it helps out more. I'm actually going to drop see if I can gather this potion first, and probably can't. Yeah, that's what I thought. So we would generally, actually, here's a question. Would you like to see us go in again and see what happens if you go in the same fortress twice in a row? Because we've noticed that it gets stronger each time. So if you'd like to, we can go in against this one and you can see what we mean by it gets stronger each time.
I say we go in again.
Yeah, stronger monsters. Or it's harder to get through it. Let's put it that way. Here, my husband says let's go through and show you, so.
We're in chamber 5 again.
Yep, chamber 5 again. So this will be the same level chamber that we were in last time with the same level rune stones. And you'll get to see what we mean by that. A lot of times, what I've noticed is isn't necessarily the monsters themselves are stronger, but see, we have 6 foes to beat this time. Last time there was 5 foes. So we have another foe that we have to go after. So that's part of it.
Whoa, nope, I'm going after this guy. I'll go after the Death Eater.
Looks like as I jumped in, a Death Eater showed up. So sometimes what'll happen is after the first person selects one of them and starts battling, something else will show up for the other people that are in the battle. So that can be helpful. My suggestion, if you're a magizoologist, is that you grab right off the bat and go in. If you aren't a magizoologist, my suggestion is that you wait. If you've got a group with a magizoologist, let the magizoologist go in and wait out and see what else shows up. And the reason that you want the magizoologist to go in first is because they have, sometimes it's harder for them. That's a common. I'm going to go after this guy. I'm checking on my husband to see if he needed any help, but he doesn't yet. So that's what I was checking there. And then I also need the higher pixies for a one of the SOS things. So another game's trying to get me to play. Not gonna happen. Not right now. So okay, so I'm gonna go after the acromantula. Let me check on my husband. He needs help. Actually, we'll drop this one first. Oh, we still have plenty. I can do that too. And then he can go after the pixie. So what that did, when I go in here, I think you'll see. I won't even be dropping a potion. And if you look, see how much faster, how much more I was able to hit him. So when you get up that high, that can help. So if you're a magizoologist, I would say go ahead and watch if you have time. I've live streamed 6 days a week, I think, since the day it was released. And I talk about some of those tips and tricks on things you can do in here. I will say you probably are not going to progress as fast as aurors or things like that. My husband's able to get more hit points than I am and things like that, so he's progressing faster on levels than I am. But what we realized is part of that, one of his allows him to catch easier than it is for me. So that's how he's getting some of his points. So did you see how they were the same level monsters generally, but we had to go after more? That's generally what happens. And if we went in again, it would be even harder. So that's, and I'll go, yeah, actually I want to go in here and, so, that's, I want to go, I don't want to mark that one. Oh well. I'm hitting all of them now. Trying not to hit my own. My husband has trouble hitting the, finding the rack spurts in the...
I found them. My phone wasn't cooperating.
In the port keys. And he said he finds them, just his phone never cooperates for him to click on them. So, it departed. I think I have that one full. I'm just after energy now. So, do you have any questions? I do have my sound off just because that way it can post to YouTube and not get flagged, have it as much chance of getting flagged for copyright. Yeah, actually, so the werewolves come out later at night. And so that's the only time that we've seen them is later at night. So I'm trying to think. I think somewhere between 9 and 10 o'clock our time is when they should start showing up. Them and they showed up after the now I can't think of the name. Just a minute, let me go look. Because my brain just had one of those.
I really didn't need to rank up on this event again.
Had one of those moments where it's not thinking. No, it's not in this one. It's under this one, I think. No, where is he? He must be in here. No, okay. I'm gonna try and... Vampire, that's the name. I knew if I tried long enough. So, we got the vampire close to catching them all. And then the werewolf started showing up. So if you haven't seen a vampire either, my guess is you're going to have to go out later at night for that. Because that's what I've seen, what we've seen, and what I've heard on some of the groups I'm part of and everything, is that different things show up at different times of the day or night. Do you have any other questions? Sounds good. Yeah, I would do that. Like I said, I think somewhere between 9 and 10 is when they show up. And depending on where you go, if there's an area with a lot of confoundables around you, you know, you might even at times be able to stay in a vehicle. In fact, that's often what we do is, and that's why I said we're headed back, is my husband or I drives and the other one runs the phone. Or both phones, because we each have one, until we get to an area with a lot of stuff, and then we go around there. And the reason we do it that way is because around our house there are no inns or fortresses for a little ways. You'd have to walk probably 15 to 30 minutes to get to anything. And we can drive here in half that time. And so we like to do that just to get to where we can then walk around and stuff. So, and it's also helpful because there are times like today, well, over this weekend I had a joint out due to a chronic hereditary condition I have. And so I was in pain, but I was still able to at least go around and complete the daily challenges and stuff. And the heat also is horrible because of it. So that's one reason I either go around in the car when I'm alone, like I'll go to a place where I can get a bunch, stop for a little while, and then move again, just because that allows me to have access to air conditioning. Or we go in the later evenings, things like that. So, do you have any other questions? Seeing, I thought I saw someone else jump on, but I guess they just liked one of my posts or something. It works for us. I think what works for each person is what they should do. That's one thing I feel. I'm not going to judge someone if they are, as long as they're doing it safely. If I find out that they're playing and driving at the same time, maybe on a highway or a busy street or things like that especially, I might complain. But if you have to find your own way to do things to be able to get things done, I mean, you said your daughter, so that tells me you're a mom, which tells me that you can't always go out at the same times of day, and some days are just going to be, weather is not going to cooperate for you to get out with your child. Either too hot or too cold or things like that. And yet at the same time you may want to play. So I feel that each person has to evaluate their own circumstances and do what works best for them. I mean, and maybe that just comes because I do have family with differing needs from other people. But that's my opinion, is the idea is to get active. For some people, it may be more active just to go drive around. You know, they may actually get out of the house. And I know, being a mom, sometimes even just getting out of the house in the car and going for a drive is a feat. Between my husband and I, we have 8 kids. So, I totally get that. Like I said, between I'm actually, and another part of that also, and why I don't judge, is, so I was a stay-at-home mom before my divorce, and then I went back to school, and right as it was getting to where I was going to graduate, you know, I met my current husband while I was at school. When I was about ready to graduate, I started having issues. And doctors couldn't find out why. And we finally found out why. But it took quite a while, and I haven't been able to work. So I figured, and I had some ideas. This is not my only YouTube channel. I actually have a different one that that I do more than just live streaming on. On that one, I actually am trying to help people learn more about what the condition I've got and learn how they can treat it, different things like that. and looking for a job at the same time, because we finally got my health to a point I can work. So we think we're there, at least for part-time. And I'm actually grateful it happened the way it did, because I was the only, me and all my kids ended up with the same condition. Just because of the way we think it's pretty positive. Both my mom and dad have it, and it's a dominant trait. And so it meant that I had nothing to pass to my kids but that. And so my kids were having these issues off and on. And we were having trouble in school off and on, things like that. Some of the same things I went through. But we were constantly chasing to figure out how to help them and couldn't get ahead of it. But when I got really bad, the doctor started... Me and one of my kids got bad right about the same time. So the doctor started trying to find solutions, because he's like, this is not normal, this is not right. We need to know what's going on. And that we ended up getting lucky and getting in with a doctor that realized what was going on. Most people have major symptoms, bad enough they can't work for up to 20 years before they get a diagnosis. So I'm grateful that for me it's been like 2 or 3 years is all. So it was like 1 to 2 years of, not even 1 to 2 years. At the very worst, it was like 3 to 6 months of the very worst before we had a diagnosis. And then from there, it's been finding solutions. Because the diagnosis doesn't tell you, okay, here's how to treat this and this and this and this. It just tells you why these things are happening. And then you have to find the solution to treat it. Because it's one of those, since it's genetic, it means it's just part of who you are. So you have to treat symptoms and not cause. But because we were able to find out, my kids have actually, I hate when it does that. I'm walking and you're a passenger. No, I'm not. I'm walking.
No, you're not a passenger.
Anyway, so we basically, and that's another reason we like to play, is it gets me out, which actually helps in my improvement, and it gets my kids out, stuff like that. So, and a big part of treating this disease is strengthening the muscles, but you can't go to a gym and strengthen them. The normal way of, here's how you strengthen, does not work. So it makes it interesting, but we make do. And maybe that's why I like the idea of Harry Potter so much, me and my kids. Because, hey, if we could do this. So what have you done? Have you watched the movies, read the books, or just found out about the game and started playing? Sorry about that. My husband has the keys in the ignition. There.
Head towards your kids.
I will see you later. I was actually just getting ready to go too, so, because in fact, what you may not have heard is my husband saying we're going to head to go pick up the kids, so I will see you later. If you don't get a chance to catch a live, I have them all on my YouTube channel. So if you subscribe there, you'll know when the lives are available there. So, yep, I'm one that I've read all the books. I've read and I watched the movies. In fact, when my husband met me, he was shocked because I read book 7. I picked it up at the beginning, like when it was first supposed to come out, or first coming out, and I had it read within about 7 hours, complete, front to back, and could tell you what happened. So, thank you. But yeah, so I totally get it, and we actually hooked my husband on it later. When I first married him, he hated Harry Potter, but me and my kids loved it, so he gave it a chance. He woke up in the middle of the night one day, asked what the heck I was watching, because he was like, "You do not like movies like that." I'm like, bull crap, this is Harry Potter. It was the first, he says that it was the first movie of part 7, and he was like, and I'm like, bull crap, this is Harry Potter, I do too. And he's like, that can't be Harry Potter. So I made him watch it. He's like, I might like that. I'm like, you are not watching that until you watch the other movies, because I am not spending the movie explaining to you what is going on, because you will be so lost. So he grumbled and groaned and agreed, because he said the trailer was so good. And then he picked up the books and started reading them, because he'd heard us all say he was missing out on everything. So we got him hooked. My stepson plays Pokemon Go, and he's really into that and not so much into Wizards Unite. So that's why sometimes you'll see we play both. And that's why, like, the Armored Mewtwo is in some of them and stuff like that. But yeah, when I heard this was going to be released years ago, when it was even in anticipation that it might, I've been watching for it since then. So the minute I could that it went live, my husband actually got to it a little bit before I did, because I was being a mom and getting kids everywhere they needed to go. But as soon as I could that day, I was on and had it downloaded and playing. So and if you ever have questions, leave them in the comments, even if it's after the live, and I'll watch for those, and I'll try and answer them in future live streams, and maybe even answer right then. So we are actually picking up the son. He was busy playing D&D, and I think he should be done now. So you have a good night too, and enjoy your little one.